But I did want to bring up a couple terms I'm sure you're familiar with. Um, First one being moral hazard. So that would be someone who has insurance, but they don't put a lot into it. So it could be free insurance. It could be it's something that they don't have um, a lot of responsibility for. They're not paying for. Might drive their behavior to be more reckless, therefore seeking more, have the need to seek more medical care. And so that's something as a philosophy, I feel like it's something trying to go away from. Want people to have and own their own responsibility, and I think that's what that's what the private insurers are trying to do. You have this deductible. Until you meet this deductible, you'll be paying this percent. We'll only reimburse this percentage of your medical care. And so that maybe is a double-edged sword. It's going to push people back like, well, I don't really need to go to the physician for this, or I don't need to go for this. When on the other hand, potentially they need to. I have an example of this. I have a colleague who has state issued insurance, doesn't require a lot from her end. She called her physician's office and they wouldn't be able to see her until next week. And she said, well, you know what, after work, I'm just going to go to the ER and be seen. And there's that moral hazard in place. Yeah, maybe she did need to be seen, but her stepping into the emergency room, that bill is going to be consumed by the taxpayers, or that needless bill, let's say it that way, when the following week she could have had a much more reduced bill, or the state would have seen a much smaller bill for the same care,
or more focused care. Yeah.
Yeah, potentially more focused care. And that's the thing with I think what you said, they're focused with the big health centers. I mean, you might see 2 or 3 providers, a mid-level, a physician to help see you through your care. Whereas at your family clinic or, your specialized clinic, you're gonna get what you need from one person or from that one team, as opposed to potentially 2 or 3 teams.
Well, and the moral hazard is a structural issue beyond just high deductible plans, because what happens to people is there's no reward in the plan. So, for example, if people meet their deductible in a given year, they're now a moral hazard because they're going to try to make the most out of the year now that they're there. If you raise the deductible a lot more to an amount that would normally be untenable to people, $7,000, more, and contribute and let them contribute to a plan that, such as an HSA or even a flex spending, where there's a reward opportunity in them if they don't use the funds. The more you do that, the better the plan behavior gets. So to your point, these are known things. This is why so many plans have pushed so hard in the high deductible range, but it can be pushed a lot further with some more structure without any detriment to the employee. It's actually a reward system for them. On the downside, they really can't end up in a worse place they were already ending up. On the upside, they keep a bunch of cash that's flexible, usable cash for them. So that's the HSA route, they got to use it on health expenses, but it rolls over indefinitely, can grow. You can take it out with penalties.
Sure.
Or in the flex spending world, they have the ability to just take it home as pay. They just get taxed on it like normal pay. It's not like it's not penalized. You just don't get to skip the payroll tax if you do that. So there's several good opportunities to structure plans to further. Our argument more or less is that moral hazard is the primary driver for the bad behaviors, not a top-down driver, although there is some of that too. But in the end, people are, the governments tend to be a product of their governed body. So if you considered every big system a form of government, if people demanded something different from their healthcare experience, they would get it in, a generation. It'd take a minute, but